Aloy and Watcher from Horizon Zero Dawn. Buckle up, people, this is going to be a long one. The total time spent on this painting was close to 20 hours from start to finish, which happened over the course of 9 days. The original time lapse is close to 20 minutes, so I figured it would be best for everyone to speed things up a bit. This first stage of the painting entailed creating a bunch of sketches and thumbnails. I had already decided that I wanted to create a Horizon Zero Dawn themed image, but during this phase I was figuring out exactly what I wanted to paint. It's worth mentioning though that some of these sketches are loosely based on ideas and images that I created many years ago and wanted to revisit. A lot of time was spent on the Watcher because I wanted to make sure that I added as much detail as possible. To do this, I used several references that gave me a good idea of both the shape of the components and where they were located. And honestly, it was time well spent because I'm really pleased with how the Watcher turned out. When my focus changed to painting Aloy, the heroine of the game, I struggled with capturing the pose and the angles. In order to get a better idea of what I was painting, I created some sketches showing the crouched pose that I had in mind. Even though the angle of these sketches don't match the final angle I'd paint Aloy, it really helped me get a better understanding of the pose. It shouldn't be much of a surprise that Horizon Zero Dawn and its sequel Horizon Forbidden West are some of my favourite games. One of my favourite machines from the game is the Watcher. They're one of the first machines you encounter when you play the first game, but I always liked the look of them. I know they are these vicious machines when you fight them, but I always thought that they looked really friendly. And while there are many machines you can use as mounts in the game, I was always a bit disappointed that Watchers couldn't be used for this purpose as well. When it came to the setting, I wanted to keep things similar to what you'd find in the games. The forest setting allowed me to keep the background quite minimal, which also helped set the focus on both Aloy and the Watcher. As for the scenery surrounding Aloy, I went for the tall grass that is scattered throughout the game. It's usually used for stealth attacks and hiding from enemies. I used a lot of watercolour textures to create depth and colour variations in this image. To do this, I used the approach detailed in some of my previous videos. A layer with the base colour holds the desired shapes, then I add additional layers set to clipping mask where I add the textures. However, for this image I could only use 26 layers in total. So at times I needed to merge layers so I could continue to build the colour and textures like I wanted. Because the process of this image took so long, I shared sketches and some of my process to both Instagram and Patreon. And for some reason, when posting an image for everyone to see, you usually spot all the issues you didn't see while painting. This led me to see issues with Aloy's face and her expression, which I changed a bit later on. I also got feedback on my work from some awesome people who pointed out that the lighting on Aloy's face and her surroundings wasn't quite accurate with where the searchlight was. So there were a few things I amended there as well. I'm really glad I had this extra time to find these issues and get feedback from my followers, as it helped me create an image I'm much more proud of than the initial iteration. I'd also like to point out that this is why I sometimes choose to tweak or even revisit older images, as time allows me to see issues I didn't see while I was painting. This image was partially created for Project Gaia, a fan project featuring cosplayers, artists and virtual photographers. The aim of the project was to create a book honouring Horizon Zero Dawn and the team at Guerrilla Games who created the game. The project went live on Kickstarter and was successfully backed, meaning that the book was created and sent out worldwide to the backers, as well as being sent to the Guerrilla Games offices. If you have any questions about my process, let me know in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching. More process videos are up on my YouTube channel, and check out my social media accounts for more of my work.